what's up you guys? It's Marlena and welcome to or back to my channel. As you can read from the title, I'm going to be answering questions slash talking about what it's like working at Cane's, because I posted a video, I want to say like a year ago, about getting ready for work at Cane's, and that was right when I started. And since then, obviously I've learned a lot more. I've gotten a lot of questions on that video about like various things, and so I just thought I'd make a second video just kind of answering questions and just talking about it, because I know it's interesting to hear about like what different jobs are like, especially if you're looking for a job. I kind of want to go in an order of like from interview to like what it's actually like working there. The first question is, what do they ask during an interview? They asked me questions about like, oh, like where did you work before? What are you doing in school? What are some extracurricular activities you do? Ask questions like, oh, like why do you want to work here? What are you gonna bring to the table? Just like the basic questions. They were really chill. We were just sitting outside talking. The next question is uniforms slash shoes. So you do need to have non-slip shoes to work there, but that includes like Doc Martens, like most Doc Martens, Crocs. I started wearing Crocs, like these Crocs. You can wear any pants as long as they don't have like holes in them. And so I would wear like cargo pants, Dickies, jeans, just anything. The shorts, I think they have to be like 4 inches above the knee. I never wore shorts to work. It's for the uniforms, and then they give you the shirts to wear. I have a few different shirts. I have like some t-shirts, some long sleeves, and then I have 2 of these hoodies. I have this one, and then I have a pink one, but the pink one got really dirty. You also have like the hats, and so it's really nice because you can swap out like colors, and you can just wear like whatever pants and shoes you want. And then like obviously you have a belt too. You can wear like any type of belt. People would wear like fun belts or like trendy belts, and so it's really nice that you can like kind of express yourself at work with the uniform, which I never got to experience before. Before it was like super strict, but like with Cane's you can like braid your hair, put it in a bun, put it in a ponytail, and then wear a hat. They even have like visors, and it's just very nice that there's so many options for the uniform. To clock in, okay, I'll show you. So to clock in, we have a card swipe system. So this is my card. It says my name on it and it says Cane's. And so you just swipe in, and then you click on like clock in, and then you need a manager swipe to clock in. If you just got hired and you're curious, I'm gonna be answering questions about like if you just got the job and you're confused. Like to clock in, you'll swipe, and then you need a manager swipe for most things to do. Age requirement, I'm pretty sure at my Cane's at least it's 16. The youngest person I knew that worked at Cane's was 16. I even got my little brother a job at Cane's a few months after I got hired. So he was 16 when he started, so I'm pretty sure it's 16. It could be 15 in other states, but I know at mine it's like, I think it's 16. Free food on breaks. So we don't get free food on your breaks. It's basically you get like a crew discount, which is 50% off. It would be nice if we got free food, honestly, but it's still nice that we get 50% off. I know the managers, I think, get a free meal, but also if you are like have like good managers, like sometimes they'll just let you like get food, or they'll let them make food for you. But I know like depending on which manager, it can be more strict with that type of stuff. The next question is hourly pay. For California, it really just depends on which state you're in. For California, I think it's $14 an hour, and then you get like little raises if you do certain things. So like I got cross-trained, which means I can work in the kitchen and in drive-thru and up front, and like I know how to do things, so I think it's like a 15-cent increase. I know that like I was making $14.45, and then with late night pay, which is anytime after 9 p.m, you get paid $1 more, and then obviously overtime pay is like time and a half. It just depends on which state you're in for that. Favorite position. Okay, my favorite position at work, I liked being on drinks in drive-thru, just because when I first started, they had me on drinks for a while, and I liked it because it was more fast-paced. It made like my shift go by really fast, and it was fun. I got to like talk to people around me. But I also liked being on toast. I thought that was chill. You got to like butter the toast and put it on the stove. Not stove. But yeah, I like that. Being on boards is fun too, which is putting the food in the boxes or putting them on the platters. My least favorite position is probably being up front, just because sometimes I get tired of like the customers, especially in like a fast food restaurant. Sometimes the customers are like ridiculous, and having to look at them face to face is like, after a long shift, it's a lot. I don't think there are any like bad positions to be in at work, especially because usually all your coworkers are like similar ages, or they're really chill. Like at least for me, all of my coworkers bonded by the time that like we've all been working there for like a few months. Okay, so I got a lot of questions on the last video about like the abbreviations, like when you're taking orders. And basically like one of the most common things that people will order is like no coleslaw, extra something. And so no coleslaw is NSL, which is just no slaw, and then X will be like extra. So you do no slaw, extra toast would be NSLXT, or it'll be no saw extra fry, it'll be NSLXF. Or if they want no toast, no slaw, extra fry, then you put NSL, NT, XF, XF. And like, you'll see it on the screen. I can't describe it just out looking at the screen, but the abbreviations, it's super easy once you get the hang of it, I promise. But yeah, just keep in mind that like N is no, and then X is extra. It's kind of self-explanatory. Drive-through sayings. Now I feel like this is what Cane's is like known for. It's like their drive-through phrases, which when you first get hired, not gonna lie, it's really uncomfortable to be like, chicken, 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 which combo are you picking? But as time goes on, you just kind of like say it, and like, especially like if you have fun coworkers, you kind of just make it like funny. It just becomes like a habit. Like some of them, for example, I know I've gotten a lot of questions about them. It's like, yo, 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 want some chicken to go? Or thanks for switching lanes and picking Cane's, or what's kicking, want some chicken? That's the one I use the most. It's just easy, like, what's kicking, want some chicken? A lot of people like laugh in the drive-thru too when you say these things, which makes it a little bit more fun, but also can be awkward. You'll get used to it over time. Next question is like how to work your way up in Cane's. But when you first get hired, you're in like training, and so you need to go through like watching the videos and going through the books, and you'll have someone training you usually at all times. And then some ways you can work your way up is like you eventually will get cross-trained, which I mentioned before. Is like when you know how to do like everything. After that, usually goes like cross-trained to CT, which is a certified trainer. And to become a certified trainer, you have to get an application from a manager, and then you have to like watch, like go through like some steps, like watching videos and attending like a meeting. You do get a little bit of a raise for each one of these. And then the next thing you could be is a bird specialist, which is, I'm not a bird specialist, but it's basically when like bird is what we call a chicken in the kitchen. And so if someone's like on bird, like that's their position, they're on bird, that means they're, just do all the steps and you put it in the fryer, and like you're in charge of like the chicken, which is obviously the main thing. And so if you're a bird specialist, it means you're kind of like in charge of the whole kitchen. You kind of like you wear a different colored apron, and like you have to go through a lot of steps to become a bird specialist. You have to go through like 8 shifts where people are like watching you on bird and making sure you know what you're doing, and you have to like answer questions and go through kind of the same process as like a certified trainer. But you do get a raise for that one as well. And then usually after bird specialist, people try to become like a manager, and that's if you're really trying to like work your way up. And so like obviously like I don't want to be a manager just because like I'm doing a lot of other things right now, but you definitely can work your way up if you want to. And one of the last questions, I got a lot of comments about this, like the sayings at Cane's, because it's hard to pick up. Like Cane's has its own language when you're working there. Like people will be yelling stuff back and forth, and you'll just be like, what did they just say? Like when you get hired, it's kind of confusing to know what they're talking about. I'll just go over like a few of them just in case you just got hired and you're like, what am I doing? Like one of the most common sayings I hear is like wrapped back, which means the drive-through line is like really long and it's like wrapped back to wherever. Like for us, there's like a stop sign at the entrance, and we'll be like, oh, we're wrapped back to the stop sign. And then also something they'll say, we say heard a lot, or like heard that, and it's so bad because now I say that in my daily life. Like someone would be like, oh, turn left here, and I'll be like, heard that, and I'll be like, it's just weird. But you pick it up. If there's like 5 people in line and there's 2 cars in the drive-thru, they'll say like 5 up, 2 back. 1 person in line, they'll say, oh, 1 up. If it's in the drive-thru, they'll say, okay, we have like 4 back. So it's like 4 back, 1 up, and then you'd be like, heard that. And like it's like its own language, I'm telling you. Another thing is like if you're in kitchen, they'll say like bird up or fries up, which means the person on boards, which is the person making the food, is gonna go bring the pan and go get the bird or the fries or whatever is ready. Another thing they'll say in the kitchen is like toast walking, or they'll call back if there's like a sandwich or a butter both sides, they'll say, oh, Sammy, or they'll say like, oh, Bob. They'll say 4 Sammys, 3 Bobs. Yeah, it's really confusing, but it's kind of self-explanatory. If they ask for like a toast count or like what they have on board, if 2 people ordered a box combo, which is 4 fingers, 8 fingers on board, and that means that's how many they need to make. I'm even getting confused. Yeah, it's just, we're really big on like communicating and just like making sure everybody knows, because it's super fast paced and it is honestly really stressful at sometimes. You do get the hang of it, and it is a fun place to work, definitely. They definitely treat you and they try to like help you out as much as possible. Like my managers would bring us in and out all the time if we closed, or we would go get like donuts and in the morning and stuff like that. Yeah, I'd say definitely try to make friends if you're working there, because it'll make it a lot more fun. I'm gonna go back and see if there was any other comments that like I might have missed. I'm looking at the comments right now, and somebody asked, can we wear navy blue uniform pants? Yes. I even wore like purple pants to work one time. Like, you can really express yourself with a uniform, like I said. Someone else said, what did they tell you after the interview was over? I got recommended by like one of my friends that already worked there, and so after the interview they're like, okay, so like we'll set you up, we'll send you all of the stuff you need to fill out. They basically told me like I got the job there, I just needed to like fill out some stuff, and they would be like contacting me with it after my interview. Someone was talking about Naked Bird. Yes, so there's a couple things. You can order like extra crispy fries, extra crispy chicken, and you can also order Naked Bird, which is literally just unbreaded chicken that they put in the fryer. It looks like this. So yeah, they're a little bit smaller because it's not breaded, but it's definitely a good option if you're like on a diet or something, but it is still fried, so keep that in mind. Someone was talking about the quizzes. Yes, when you get hired or you're going to be a certified trainer or a bird specialist or anything, you do have like a little iPad that you watch videos and you have to take quizzes on, so you should pay attention. They ask you questions about like what temperature is the fryers, and what's the placement in the meals and things like that. Someone said, I got hired and I'm going in on Monday for orientation, and I have no idea what that is, LOL. Orientation is when you just fill out paperwork and they give you your uniform. So they'll give you, for me they gave me 2 t-shirts and then my hat, my swipe, I believe. I don't remember if they gave me this little swipe card on my orientation day or my first day of work. Someone said, I had a quick question, what about the boys? Is there any way we could wear shorts or just jeans? Yeah, a lot of the boys at my work wear shorts just because they don't have to worry about it being like too short usually. But yeah, you definitely can wear shorts because it does get hot in the kitchen and wherever. Someone talked about how they used to work at Chick-fil-A, and the food at Chick-fil-A is so much better because they have a variety. I agree with that. I definitely like how much of a variety there is at Chick-fil-A, and just overall, I prefer the Chick-fil-A chicken, which I'm so sorry to Cane's. Yeah, I used to work at Chick-fil-A too, and it was good, but it's a lot more strict. Like the uniform's more strict, everything is a little bit more strict, the way you respond to customers. I mentioned in my last video, I didn't want to go back to Chick-fil-A because of some of their beliefs I don't really agree with, but definitely at least my location was fun, and I made a lot of friends there too. Very chill. What is the average check for the people that work at Cane's? So this goes back to like your state's minimum wage. For me, I know people that work like full-time and they make like over $1,000, but for me, I never worked full-time. My checks would be anywhere from like 300 to like 700 if I worked like a lot. Definitely working like closing shifts and like overtime and just like picking up other people's shifts can get you more hours, so it just depends on like how much you want to be working. It's pretty flexible. One said, can you apply just to be a cook or do you have to do cashier? So I think whatever you apply for, like you can just get hired, but usually everybody gets cross-trained. Like everybody that works at Cane's, usually at my location, they know how to do everything, or eventually they will know how to do everything. Someone said, I'm scared I'm gonna be nervous to talk to my crew and not have a good bond with them. It's pretty easy to bond with the crew just because you're in such like an environment where you communicate all the time, and don't be nervous. There's usually like there's so many age ranges, and you just gotta like go talk to people. Like you can just make small talk and then it'll evolve into like friendships. I feel like that's how it always happens at a workplace. Like the longer you work there, like you're just bound to form connections just because you see these people so often. So don't stress it. You'll make bonds, you'll make friends. Just keep working there and you'll be fine. Someone said, is drive-thru hard? It is not hard because you're doing the same thing. It just can get very fast-paced, and especially if like one person is a little bit like unorganized or like messes something up, it can kind of like stress you out and like mess up the flow of things. Usually there's plenty of people there to help out, so it gets stressful, but you usually will get through it just fine and you'll have plenty of help. Someone asked about the hours. The hours depend on each location. My location opened at 9 and closed at midnight, so when I would close, I wouldn't get home until like 1:30 because technically closers stay till 1, but there have been times when I've stayed till 2:30 because we were short on closers. It just depends. I know some locations close at 3, some are 24 hours, so it really just depends on which location is near you. Oh, someone is saying like holding and full weight on bird. Yeah, so you could ask like how long on bird when they're in the kitchen, and they'll say, oh, full weight, or they'll be like birdie in 30 and like 30 seconds and stuff like that. And also holding is like means that like the person on toast, the toast isn't fully cooked yet, and so we're kind of getting backed up and be like, oh, why are we holding? Oh, we're holding on toast. I think that's all the questions I'm gonna answer today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this helps some of you guys out because I got a lot of comments in the last video. I got a lot of views in the last video, so I know a lot of people are like curious or nervous, and so I just want to help you guys out. Hopefully I answered some questions or gave you some knowledge on what it's like working at Cane's. This has been my favorite job by far, I think, just because of the connections I've made and just how laid back the environment is, and it really just like you can just be yourself at work and it's super nice. So yeah, if you are getting interviewed or applied, good luck. I hope you guys get the job. If you have any more questions, you can comment them down below. If there's a lot of questions, I might do like a part 2 on this video, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, you can do that down below. You can also follow me on any social medias. I'll put them down below as well. But yeah, my next video, I will probably be moving, and that's so scary, but stay tuned for that. I'll see you in my next video.